Welcome to the Prado Museum in Madrid, Spain. We are here again live on the Prado social media programming with our weekly sessions in English. This is a program supported by the U.S. nonprofit American Friends of the Prado, and we thank all of our supporters and encourage everyone to find out more about our programs to support the Prado or the programs of our sister organization in Spain, the Fundación Amigos. Today, we're here with a very special treat for history fans. We're in room 56 in the museum with a portrait of Mary Tudor, Queen of England, painted by the artist Anthonis Mor, and in Spain known as Anthonis Mor. Now, Mary Tudor was the daughter of Henry VIII of England and his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. And Catherine of Aragon was the daughter of the Catholic kings of Spain, Isabel and Ferdinand. Let's remember that Henry VIII's reign was filled with turmoil, and he broke with the Catholic Church to separate, for other reasons, to separate from Mary's mother, Catherine, to be able to marry Anne Boleyn. So Mary had quite a difficult situation. When she was younger, she was declared illegitimate by Parliament and was in and out of favor as she was growing up. It's very significant that she remained Catholic. And when she was declared Queen of England in 1553, her cousin, Charles, who was ruling both Habsburg Spain and the Austrian Holy Roman Empire, he quickly moved to propose her marriage to his son Philip, who would become the future Philip II of Spain. Now, what's amazing in the Prado is that we have both marriage portraits. Upstairs, we have a beautiful portrait of Prince Philip in armor, full length, painted by Titian, which was quickly sent to Mary to see if she would approve this marriage. And following, we have this commission by Anthonis Mor by the Habsburgs to celebrate this marriage of Philip and Mary. So this portrait takes place at a time, we can imagine, of much hope. You know, as modern viewers, we are affected that we know what happens afterwards. But at this moment, Mary, there's just a hopefulness, it has to be, that there is a new wedding with an alliance between England and Habsburg Spain. And Mary seems to be quite in love with Philip, as he was her younger cousin. And they had married just a few months earlier, and at this time of the portrait, she believed that she was pregnant with an heir to the throne. And this would have been extremely important. The portrait was a huge success, as it really captured the personality of Mary, and it also helped position Mor as to become one of the principal painters for Philip. Many copies were made, and the original was sent back to Charles, who kept it in his collection and even took it with him on his retirement to rural Yuste. So Anthonis Mor, he had been introduced to the Habsburg circle a few years earlier, and he was much appreciated for his portraits that included great attention to detail, but with a more monumental corporal presence of the figures, which were influenced by the changes happening in Italy. Mor's composition actually seems to be influenced by the posthumous portraits of Charles' wife, which we have conveniently hanging right next to Mary, the portrait of Isabel of Portugal by Titian. And now Isabel of Portugal, she was by this time idealized as the perfect wife and queen of a Habsburg. She was beautiful, she was virtuous, and she was even a very capable governor and governed Spain a lot during her husband's absences throughout the rest of his duties in Europe. So, and we go back to, we see that there's a similar position between how Mary is in the composition with Isabel. So they're mirrored together. And Anthonis Mor would have seen some sort of image or drawing of Titian's portrait of Isabel. What we have here is that Mary appears as the regal Queen of England, and with determination in her face, thanks to that fixed gaze looking out of it, determination to overcome difficult situations. And she has a very, kind of rigid pose that adds to that determination. And there are many visual symbols indicating both her legitimacy as Queen of England and the closeness to the Habsburgs family, her husband's family, her mother's family. First, we have her in a composition with a more neutral background to make her stand out. And she's sitting in this beautiful velvet armchair that's also at an angle to create the space. And the armchair would be representative of the throne of England. Then she has more of a Tudor headdress and the Tudor rose in her hand. Then she also has, as she inherited this beautiful jewelry from her father, Henry VIII, as a locket, a pendant from their waist down to the locket at the bottom, which is hanging in front of her skirt here. Now this locket is a cross and with the 4 evangelists, and on the locket is her father's, Henry VIII's motto, which is God and my right. But she's made it into a locket, and it also has Catholic relics on the inside. So she is legitimate heir to Henry VIII, and at the same time declaring her Catholicism. Now, in allusion to her closeness to the Habsburgs, and we have all of the interlacing embroidery of the chair, which is the union of love, the union of the 2 dynasties, also with her high neck collar. There's more interlacing here, which is the union between the 2, their love, and especially the union of the dynasties. And also she's decided to dress more in the Spanish style with this high collar. This would have been a purple overcoat, which unfortunately has had a chemical reaction. We know from the restorers in the Prado that it's lost some of the color of the overcoat. But then that beautiful jewel, and this is a gift from Philip that was inherited from his mother, Isabel of Portugal. And so this is a fantastic flat cut diamond with this beautiful pearl that hangs, and these are treasured jewelry from the Habsburgs that were very close to Mary. She decided to wear them, and actually when she became ill later, was very careful to send them back to Philip in her will. So what we have are, and then we also have this other jewelry here in her hand. One of these rings is a gift from Charles, another is her coronation ring as Queen of England, and then the very simple band is her wedding ring to Philip. So Mary was not a great beauty, but Moore portrayed her very realistically and gave her great intensity and regal majesty, thanks to all of her attributes and the fine details of her, all of her richly embroidered jewelry, her clothing, her stance, her dignity looking out at us. And although Mary died a few years later and the Habsburg alliance was thwarted, she was very close to the Habsburgs. And this painting, I think, is really significant that Charles kept it with him until he passed away in Yuste. Another idea is lineage, and that both Isabel and Mary are first cousins. They are both grandchildren of the Catholic kings, and their policy of marital alliances, both with Portugal and with England, and with the Habsburgs in Burgundian and Austria. And next to them we have a portrait of their grandmother, Isabel the Catholic. So you can come and study all of your genealogy, your royal genealogy here, just in this room, and it helps so much to put images to everyone that we study, no in text. So thank you so much for listening today and being with us. More reasons to come visit the wonderful Prado Museum to see these actual real wedding portraits of Mary Tudor and Philip II of Spain, and with their relatives, all of these powerful people at the time that were so important for history, and we have the real artifacts here that help bring us closer to them in their moment. So we'll see you again next week, and thank you very much.